So I guess congratulations are in order to the Boston Celtics. They are NBA champions after defeating the Dallas Mavericks 4 games to 1 in the NBA Finals. We analyze it. We give our thoughts on it. It happened. It's a thing that happened. We don't think that Boston's the greatest championship team of all time, like some sports shows want you to believe. But those are our thoughts. We also give our thoughts on what Dallas needs to do, what they should have done differently, the Lakers coaching job. We look forward to next year's college football season, and we have a little fun at the end. So stick around if you want some laughs. And if you like what we do, don't forget to like and subscribe to us on Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio. Look for us on YouTube. We have some funny videos out there too. Welcome to the One Sports Podcast in Sanford, Florida. This is Sandlot Sports. I am Adam Capperson. I'm here with the correct Dora Thomas, Dora and Cody,
Congratulations, Boston Celtics.
and BJ Thomas.
Yeah, so we're doing interesting things today. The Dodgers are down four in the middle of the fourth, and I just put $10 on them. We're gonna see how that goes over the course of this podcast.
Oh shit!
Y'all will know
This
if
is
he
perfect.
wins.
Oh, you will know. It will quickly be followed by "Told you so."
So while we wait for the Dodgers to do their thing, we'll talk about the Celtics. Dorian, you go first. What were your thoughts on the finals, or just the playoffs overall?
um, Overall, well, first off, the Boston Celtics, they are a complete team. Uh, I know that a lot of people got hyped or they got caught in the wind of Kyrie and Luca, but Luca can't play defense, right? You're going to have and Jones, I think it's Derrick Jones, number 55 for the Mavs.
Derrick Jones
Um,
Jr.
Yeah, yeah, Derrick Jones Jr., right? I want to give him some credit because I believe like he played above his expectation. Because remember, he was known in the league just being a dunker, coming in, playing some defense, and then going back to the bench. But this series, he proved that hey, like I'm more, I'm more than a dunker. Like I can actually contribute to the team. So definitely get a shout out to Derrick Jones Jr. However, overall, I knew from the beginning of the season or around that time when they picked up Drew Holiday, I'm like, this is the piece that they needed because it was the point guard play that I believe that when they went against the Warriors that they struggled because Steph Curry got into Marcus Smart's head and that was the cause of them one of the reasons why they lost that series, right? But having someone like Drew Holiday, a proven defender, a person that has the intelligence to be able to slow the game down, get people in their places, say, okay, now you work. That was important, man. So definitely shout out to the Boston Celtics. And also, real quick, Porzingis. I was telling people at work, I said he was the X factor because people forget he's a lottery pick. He's just injury prone. He turned into a journeyman, but he's talented, right? 7'3". Some people say 7'4". He's 7'3". He could put the ball on the floor. I knew he was going to be a matchup issue. The only person that I believe that would give him hell is Jokic. Like Jokic, Embiid, and you can say Giannis, right? Outside of those individuals, like he's one of the best offensively big men in the game. So
And the thing with the Holiday pickup, it wasn't just that they got Drew Holiday; it's that they got him away from Milwaukee.
mm-hmm,
You know,
mm-hmm,
they hurt their biggest rival by taking one of their most important pieces.
absolutely,
And
absolutely,
people forget this is Holiday's second title.
yeah,
And
second,
they were talking about it being a big three in Milwaukee, and now he's in Boston. He's doing his thing in Boston, and you're 100% right. He was that guy that could settle them down. When Marcus Smart was there, yes, he was the heart and soul of the Celtics. They loved him to death. But when things got out of whack, instead of settling things down, he was like, "I'm taking over this game," and he didn't have the skill to take over the game.
mm-hmm,
So, and that
exactly.
that was that was huge.
So real quick, so if you're Milwaukee and if you're the GM, what do you tell the owner?
Um, my bad. I'll take the buyout and I'm leaving.
You
Because
think it
it's
was?
like,
You think it was that bad?
look, man, like,
That team fell apart. They didn't like quit playing.
right,
Like
but
everybody got hurt.
right, but you said it yourself, BG. I think it was you that said like Dame is a dynamic scorer, but the other things that it takes to be a point guard to lead to a championship he didn't have. Like defense, he plays defense when he wants to. Compared to Holiday, he plays defense every play, and he knows when it's time to score, he goes, okay, I need to pick up the slack. Dame, it's Dame time all the time. That's okay, but Milwaukee's team, they need someone like a Holiday that could be able to, again, slow the offense down, get Giannis into position. What was Milwaukee's issue was Dame couldn't get him in position. Dame was like, okay, we're struggling. I'm going to shoot our way out.
Yeah, and the Dame this year was not the Dame that we're used to. And we're used to 28, 29, 30 points a game. He was 24 points a game, which isn't bad, but that's not worth it, especially when you're going to give up that on defense.
Mm-hmm.
And that Milwaukee team, while they were hurt towards the end of the year, they were just above or just under 500 when Doc Rivers got there for like half the season. It wasn't just injuries. It was a full-on complete meltdown of the team. And I don't know how you fix that other than replace Doc Rivers because, you know, he is probably the most overrated coach in the NBA.
I agree.
But they're going to have to bring in some defensive help.
Absolutely. Also, too, on the Celtics, right? Like Joe Mazzulla. I know we said on the last podcast that that Boston is just an overall talented team. But to be able to check egos of a team that has apparently two stars, right? Be able to help them check their egos and tap into, hey, team first. I give credit to Joe Mazzulla because that's different. Especially if you got guys like, hey, like, you know, we've been in the league since what, 2014, 2013. You know, you just come in to be a head coach. Why the fuck should I listen to you? Who are you?
His biggest thing this year was getting Tatum to go, I don't have to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
I am not good enough to do everything. I don't have to do everything. There was a reason why Jaylen Brown won the Finals MVP.
Right.
You know, and it was Tatum. It was finally him realizing I don't have to be the number one at all times.
Right.
And because we've seen that happen, you mentioned that during the Golden State series, we saw it last year in the Miami series. When he thinks he is the only option, that team stagnates. The ball doesn't move, and they don't hit the open threes that they're capable of hitting. When he goes, you know what? It's okay. It's okay, Jalen, you can take this shot. Drew, you can take this shot. I don't have to be in the offense every single play. Once he's realized that, and that is on Joe Mazzulla, that's when they became a better team.
Right. I got a question for you guys. So I saw on social media, they were like, if you were an owner of an NBA team, which GM would you want to build your roster?
Danny Ainge.
Danny Ainge or Brad Stevens?
Danny Ainge.
Danny Ainge?
Danny Ainge. Because
Who you say, BJ?
Ainge has never shown any weakness in that department. He's always been able to pull off trades that people thought weren't going to get done or shouldn't be done. And I mean, his trade savvy is almost that of like, I know something about you and I'll tell the world if you don't do this trade.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like it's just crazy. Yeah, some of the shit he's been able to pull off over the course of his career and maintain the talent level and build from that. I don't know. It's hard for me to pick any outside of Jerry West, who isn't on the list.
What about Sam Presti?
Well, you just said two. You said Ainge.
Oh yeah, you're right. I did.
Yeah, I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying. He's not on the list that we're talking about. So, but I'm gonna say outside of Jerry West is Danny Ainge.
Yeah. Okay. So let's open that up. So if you had $1 gazillion and you were buying an NBA team today, and your first hire is your GM, and you can pay him whatever he wants, and he'll take the job, who you taking?
Jerry. Jerry got people on his page.
Well, Jerry's passed away, so.
You didn't say he had to be alive.
That's fair.
And due to the fact that we were just talking about Jerry, I thought that's one of the reasons we opened it up. So I'm gonna say Jerry West
Okay.
because he was able to pull off trades and retain the talent. He got people to re-sign and commit to his franchises over the course of his career.
Mhm.
It led a legendary clip.
Yeah.
He got Shaq to LA.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
said, hey, this little 18-year-old over here who's not doing much in Charlotte or isn't going to do much in Charlotte, let's bring him over here. He'll be fine. And then I got Kobe. And then proceeded to put the right amount of talent around them to make a dynasty.
Yeah, I'm hesitant to pick Presti because he hasn't won a championship.
Now, he acquires talent. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
He's great at acquiring talent, and he's great at getting value for what he lets go.
Yeah, he's great at working around the fringes. He's
Yeah,
great
for
at,
sure.
at picking up the star players. He just hasn't been able to put it all together yet for a championship. The results just aren't all the way there. Now he's shown a penchant for being able to do it well, but if I want somebody that's able to finish the job, and that's why I'm going to go. I'd go Danny Ainge. Of those that are living, if we're going to open up to everyone, then yeah, I'd go Jerry West. Because
Fair enough.
Ainge not only knows how to draft, he knows how to trade, he knows how to sign free agents. He also knows how to set up the team for ongoing success.
Didn't Jerry West make the Grizzlies relevant?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's something.
Yeah.
That's something.
Yeah.
Jerry West put the Grizzlies in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me, I'm gonna say R.C. Buford. The way he was able to see the diamonds in the diamond in the rough in international players, and be able to maintain the Spurs to be able to have to draft the way that they did. To me, he's up there too. He was able to retain Tim Duncan and be able to get players that complement Tim Duncan, right? Like the Manu Ginobili's. Who saw that? Who saw Tony Parker, right? Who saw Kawhi Leonard? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for me, like, because you guys got Jerry West and one got Danny Ainge. The third one I'm picking is R.C. Buford.
Yeah, let's think about CB for a second. He was the GM for the Spurs in '97.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when they basically cleaned house.
Mm-hmm.
They had Sean Elliott, who was hurt, and they had David Robinson, who could never really get over the hump. Brought him Tim Duncan, and like you said, was able to get Tony Parker, who no one knew about, Manu, who no one knew about. Did they draft Kawhi or did they trade for Kawhi? I forget.
Wasn't it trade with Indiana? Because I think Indiana drafted him and they traded Kawhi to San Antonio, and then for George Hill, and not we, but the Spurs traded that pick, gave George Hill to Indiana so they can acquire Kawhi.
So, and that's on something else too. Be able to acquire that level of talent on draft night goes back to BJ's point about Jerry West and getting Kobe on draft night from another team.
Right. No, that's huge. That's huge. Yep. And then on top of that, they got Danny Green, which they traded Danny Green. He was on Cleveland, and he was originally on Cleveland, and he was a bench player. Then he came to the Spurs. All of a sudden, he single-handedly dismantled the Heat in those 3-pointers. It was crazy. So that eye for talent and being able to identify and tap into those individuals. Steven Jackson, when they had Steven Jackson, there was another
dude. He
too,
made Boris Diaw a household
Boris
name
Diaw.
for a couple of years.
Boris fucking Diaw. Boris Diaw. I mean, what he had? I think it was not Francisco Ellison. I think it was the year when the Spurs won and they went up against the Cavaliers.
07, right?
Yeah, 07. Even though they swept the Cavaliers, but it was somebody off the bench like
Francisco Ellison.
Maybe it was him. one of their centers had like was giving quality minutes. It's either him or it's the Roberto guy. One of those two. I can't think of what big man. It was another big man outside of Duncan that um that they identified, and he was just doing his thing against the Cavs. Is
Speaking
either
of
Ellis?
yeah, and speaking of identified guys who
Talking about Tiago Splitter.
That's who it is. Tiago Splitter. Tiago Splitter. That's what it was. I was
yeah,
trying to figure out.
Between the three of us,
yeah,
we will
we'll get
figure
it.
this shit out.
I got another name for you for RC Buford. Okay,
Who?
guys, no one knew of was an undrafted free agent when he signed with San Antonio. Bruce Bowen.
Bruce fucking Bowen.
One of
Bruce
the
Bowen.
best defenders of all time.
Of all time.
Sadly, his highlight reel is Tracy McGrady scoring 13 points in 33 seconds.
While he was strapped to Tracy McGrady.
Strapped.
Like a back. It's like if you turned your backpack around and wore it on the front. That's what Bruce Bowen was to Tracy McGrady in those 35
Absolutely.
seconds. It didn't matter.
Absolutely.
And that's why I get so mad. Just to interject here. I was watching a show. I think it was part of Gilbert Arenas' stupid ass podcast. And this is why I hate the internet, is because every asshole gets a platform. They said McGrady, you can't say whether or not McGrady is one of the greatest players because he didn't do it for that long. And I was like, what?
What?
Like 6 or 7 years between Orlando and Houston. Am I correct?
Yeah.
At least.
At least, yeah.
At least. I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm a homer, but that's enough to get a sample size.
Absolutely.
And that's why I tell you, I hate that everybody has a platform as we here sit on our manufactured platform. But, you know, T-Mac was amazing.
Yes.
And when Kobe says one of the hardest people for him to guard is Tracy McGrady because he's 3 inches taller than me and can do everything I can.
Right.
I mean, that's all you got to know because Kobe was one of the top defenders of his generation.
Yeah.
Okay. From the 2000 to 2001 season to the 2007-2008 season, McGrady averaged 24 points a game every season. That was between the Houston and Orlando seasons.
Yep.
And had he not been in Orlando with Doc Rivers and broken his fucking back carrying the goddamn team.
Literally. Back broken. Spinal.
Literally.
That's a Mike Tyson reference for you assholes that didn't laugh.
Yeah.
So, but Dorian, we'll go back to the finals. You mentioned about Luka not playing defense. And I thought it was so goddamn funny. People, like, after game 3 were shocked. Legit shocked that Luka doesn't play defense. I'm like, have y'all guys not been watching basketball? and I think that's what pissed me off so much about game 4 is that he did. That team turned it around. It's like having a kid who's a C student. And then one day they come home with an A. You're like, look, God damn it, you could do this.
Right.
Just apply yourself.
Right. Exactly. I mean, he was obviously he saves energy, right? So he saves energy because okay, push come to shove, I got to be the man, which is why you got to give him. I mean, Kyrie did his thing, but they need another person. They need another go-to person because if so, I believe that would Jason Kidd will be able to say, okay, now Luka, we got you that this third star or this third person that can contribute with a consistent 15 points a game. I need you to play defense. You got to play defense.
When was the last time any of us, the three of us, I've watched a lot of basketball. When was the last time any of us watched an NBA playoff game where the star player of a team fouled out?
I think the only person I saw that fouled out was I think Shaq is the only person like star that I can remember that fouled out in the playoff game.
I mean, the only time I can remember it actually happened in college was when John Wallace took on the entire Kentucky team and fouled out. That's the only time I can remember a star player fouling out of an important game. It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And your team needs you. Mm-hmm. And somebody made a great point about Luka's 6th foul in Game 3. Is you were letting Jaylen Brown blow by you all game. Now you decide to play defense?
Right, exactly. Also, too, what we're gonna do, social media out there, what we got to do, stop comparing Luka to Larry Bird. Not even close.
Dude, just because he's white doesn't mean he plays the same game.
Which is crazy, right? But also, too, Larry Bird played defense. Larry Bird is not going to let a team blow him out. Like,
no, he's more likely. Fight. He's about to say he's more likely to punch somebody in the face before that shit goes down.
Yeah,
absolutely. Like, but yeah, it's crazy. It was like it was like you can compare Luka to anybody else. Why got to be Larry Bird?
Because he's white. No, and in all seriousness, have you ever heard any analyst compare a black player to a white player or a white player to a black player? Like, even motherfucking Jason Williams. You know he was not compared to Magic.
Actually, if I'm not mistaken, I did see, well, Steve Nash was in it too. But they were talking about like I think like who had the most assists or something in their rookie season, something like that. I think it was Jason Williams, it was Steve Nash, and it was Jason Kidd and another guard. But that's the only time I see them compare point guards like that. But I get it, you know. But now, let's talk about Derek White. So Brad Stevens was able to finagle a trade to get Derek White on the Celtics, which was huge for him. Now, moving forward, do you think that Derek White deserves a bigger role on the team, or he's fine where he is?
Those are two separate questions.
Okay.
Do I think he deserves a bigger role? Yes. Do I think he will request a bigger role? No.
Okay.
From everything that I've seen from him, like he could, and he'd be well within his right to either take more of the offense or, get out of there and go to a team where he can lead the team by himself. He could, well within his right to. I don't think he will. Just everything I've seen from him tells me that he's going to go, you know what? I'm okay being the third option on this team because you know why? Right. This bling looks nice.
Right. Right. Exactly. Now, another question is how long do you think Jaylen Brown and Tatum can be a tandem before one person goes, let me see if I can do this with my own?
When they stop winning. If they get bounced in the first round next year, that's when it happens. If they can seriously make conference finals, no, it won't be a problem. But when the winning stops, the finger pointing starts.
Okay. Because here's the thing, right? So there's some bickering about a lot of people felt as if Jason Tatum should have won Finals MVP over Jaylen Brown.
No, like who's ever saying that did not watch the games?
Right, they didn't watch the whole season, like from the NBA season to the playoffs. Jaylen Brown has always, and we talked about this, I think, in the series when they were going against Golden State, right? Tatum, he gets sporadic at times. It's Jaylen Brown was the one that was being the glue. Everybody started to recognize that, which Jason Tatum, when he was on the podium, I don't know if you guys remember, but he said, yeah, I remember when people was talking shit about me. Deservingly so, Tatum. You were trying to take over games, and you were turning the ball fucking over. And then when you had to sit out and Jaylen Brown was doing it, they were like, oh, well, we see who the consistent star is. And then that's when, so it's deservedly so that Jaylen Brown won the Finals MVP because he was consistent.
We said it right here on this podcast 2 years ago when they lost to Golden State. I made the joke that Tatum should have held up the little note card with 100 like Wilt Chamberlain because he had 100 turnovers in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And you said that Jaylen Brown was the dog on that team. He was the
Hmm.
one that was consistent.
Yep.
Now he had issues dribbling with his left hand. That has since been fixed.
Hmm.
And anyone who is like, well, Tatum and Brown, Tatum should have won MVP. All they know is Jason Tatum was on 2K23. That's all
Yeah.
they know. They didn't
Yeah.
actually watch the games.
Hmm. Right. Right. So he's he's Jaylen Brown definitely deserved it. Now, what I think is going to happen is next year, I know we're going to get into early predictions, but uh, we all know that Denver's going to get better. Denver not having you know uh, another contributor coming off the bench that was consistent hurt them. I believe they're going to fix that. Now, I can see a Denver Celtics finals next year, right? Here's the thing. You have once the Nuggets they're able to fix and get and add them another consistent score, even if it's somebody that can come off the bench and give them 15. If they get that, it's going to be hard to beat.
Denver's problem this year is Bruce Brown left and they didn't have a
Mm-hmm.
point guard,
Mm-hmm.
and they had a brain shart against Minnesota. If they don't do that, they win the title. They beat Boston.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just all there is to it.
Yeah.
And you're right. Denver's going to come back. Minnesota's going to come back. I know it's the ESPN thing to do. It's like, well, Boston's favored next year. No shit, dumbass. They just won the title this year.
Right.
Like, what do you expect is going to happen?
Right.
But yeah, Denver is going to get better. They're going to realize where they faltered, and they're going to get better.
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota's only going to get better. Oklahoma City's only going to get better. The Knicks are going to get better. Probably going to stay
Right.
healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, Indiana's going to get better. Milwaukee, who knows? Orlando's going to get better.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I love the articles I've been seeing today.
You say that with confidence, like Orlando getting better is a guaranteed thing.
But
you don't learn, do you?
No, well, no. I went to Leesburg High. I'm dense.
Is Leesburg High the problem, or is UCF the problem?
Yes. But yeah, I love the articles today. It's like, where does this Boston team stand in the pantheon of championships? I'm like
bottom.
Like
yeah.
They won. Congratulations. It's
Yeah,
a thing that happened.
They're lumped in there with every other one championship team.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, they're closer to.
This isn't an extension of the 80s and 60s Celtics. Like, let's not go there.
No.
Right.
They're closer to the 19 Raptors than they are the 17 Warriors. Just calm the F down.
Yeah. You're right.
People and their stupidities.
Right.
And then you had the flip side of, well, there should be an asterisk because they didn't play anybody. Like, well, tough, because I did my own research. I did the COVID thing. I did my own research today. So like the '88 Lakers won some random phantom call that should never been called. There's no asterisk for there. The '94 Rockets won only because Jordan retired. The '99 Spurs won during the lockout season. The 2002 Lakers won because of one rogue official against the Kings. The '07 Spurs won against the Cavs team that was LeBron and a bunch of scrubs. 19 Raptors. They played an injury-riddled Warriors team. The 2020 Lakers won in the COVID bubble. You know what? None of those have asterisks. Doesn't matter. It's a thing that happened.
Yeah.
They're champions.
It's love. Yeah. It's love.
So and BJ's right. I mean, it's a one-time thing. Now, yes, this is the culmination of several years of them kind of getting here. It's a one-time thing. If they do it consistently the next 2 or 3 years, then we can have the conversation. But now, okay, cool.
Right. Right. Exactly. Is Jokic? Is he's not even 30 yet? Is he? I think he's like 25.
He's 28, I think.
Oh, he's 28.
I think so.
Okay. So you still have a prime Jokic who's I'm pretty sure he's determined to get his get back against the Timberwolves and to get another title. Like it's going to be so many hurdles that Boston is going to have to get through to win the title. Yeah, not saying it's impossible, but
Joker's 29.
It was 29. Okay, like he's 29. So it's like there's going to be so many hurdles that they're going to have to get through. Also, too, they have to make sure that they keep their bench intact because I was reading rumors that Al Horford may retire. I mean, he's contemplating, right? So,
he's 802 years old. He can retire now. He won his championship. He's fine.
yep, he won his what back to back college national championship, and then he won a NBA championship. So, shout out to him. But it's so hard to be able to repeat, being able to keep everybody intact, and then also too, other teams are looking at your team and going, this person, is attractive enough to bring him, and we can have him with this piece and that piece. So you got to be in tune with the agents of your players. Like, hey, like, what's the pulse? Like, everything good? Want to run it back? You know, you know, how are we on contract talks? Can we talk about your contract? You know, uh, after next season? Like it's so much that goes into being a GM and being a team to repeat, right? Like for example, as you heard, Klay Thompson stopped following the Warriors. Some people are like it doesn't mean anything, but as we know, when a person stops following something, there's always some type of drama, right? Draymond Green goes on the show and say, "Hey, like he's not worried about Klay Thompson not following the Warriors," you know. So obviously he knows something, right? So it's just keeping teams together. That championship pedigree, man, it's tough to keep them together.
Yeah, I think I said this a couple weeks ago, but do you guys know the last team to win an NBA title and just get back to the conference finals?
That was it the it was the Warriors, right?
In
Yeah,
2019.
yeah, 2019, yeah,
It's been a while.
yeah,
It is freaking hard to
yeah,
repeat.
yeah, yeah. So it's yeah, so Brad Stevens, I mean, deservingly so, he's enjoying the championship. But like most great GMs, they will enjoy a championship for a week, and that next week, you know, who's on the draft board,
Yep.
who we keeping. Like there is business as usual. So
So I think that's enough of our NBA talk for right now. So, but something did happen last week, actually, right after we signed off last week. Um, BJ, who was that guy from the NFL that got a big contract from his team? Was it 5 years, 275?
Mm-hmm.
What was his name?
Sunshine?
Yes, Dorian. How you feeling?
I'm gonna be honest.
Handcuffed?
Um, yeah, but it's part of the market. Who else we gonna get?
Oh, yeah, yeah. See how he did that there? Who else?
Yeah,
Could have had Gardner Minshew and some offensive linemen, which you could have had.
yeah, but I mean that's not what happened. Could we have not traded for Mac Jones to see if we could have got Michael Penix to be able to give some
Yeah,
QB controversy?
that's what we need is a 5 years of you and Michael Penix. That's what we.
Could you imagine?
That's what. No, yes, I can
No.
imagine. That's it. Yes, I can imagine. That's why I said that.
So that's what we could have had, but I mean, it's part of the market. Like we like you said, we were handcuffed. We didn't have a choice. What? Take a chance and hope, which a wise person said, hope is not a strategy, right? So we can't hope. Okay, we don't give him the contract, and we end up, hoping for a quarterback or maybe Arch Manning falling through all that. We couldn't do that. So it's not like
Kamikaze pilots didn't have a choice. Y'all had a choice, and you chose kamikaze.
So I mean, uh, we'll see what happens, man.
Sure will. I'm warming up. If I can beat you in the fantasy football playoffs again, and Trevor Lawrence does Trevor Lawrence shit, you might start watching figure skating.
That Eastern European table tennis that BJ is
Yeah.
watching on his phone.
Yeah. And I'm gonna figure out how to play fantasy Eastern European table tennis too, so I can beat you in that.
Well, no. Eventually, I'm gonna get my fantasy football playoff pick, eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Shit, if the Boston Celtics can just win a championship after several years of losing, hey, I like my chances.
I feel like I'm in your head so much you'll just fuck it up on the waiver wire and I'll be good to go.
No, well, one thing I know was not to trade with you, first off.
Yeah, oh no. You're just
You're not gonna daddy age me. Fuck that. I'll
No,
take my
just-
chances.
we talk about this a couple times a year. That shit warms my heart.
Well, it begs the question: who's going to win the championship first, Dorian, the Lakers, or the Cowboys?
Mm. I like how the Jaguars didn't even factor in that. That might have something to do. That might have something to do with that $275 million contract.
Look, man.
What percentage of that is the salary cap there, math guy?
I think it's like 22%.
Ouch. What's that mean? Typically,
It means that you get 70%, to go around the other 51 players.
which means
Which means
continue,
you ain't got money to pay for other big name stars.
which leads to,
Losses,
and definitely
not championships.
There we go. Thank you. That took us way longer to get to than it should have, but that's fine. Thumb in the eye and everything.
The 49ers are going through this now with Brandon Ayuk. There just ain't enough money to go around.
Yeah. So I heard he was talking to the Steelers, or I heard some rumors about him and the Steelers.
Why?
Yeah.
So he can play with Jason Tatum of the NFL?
Oh no, Russ was here first. Russ was here first. He earned that. Don't you take that away from him.
Yeah. I mean, yes. We can see. We'll find out. Well, so all right. So the Niners gave a contract to CMC, and then Debo. I think did they resign Debo? I think did they already give him a contract extension, or they worked out a contract with Debo?
I don't think so. I'll find out real quick.
Yeah, because I was reading about. I
heard he's a trade target. They were trying to shop him around a little bit.
Mm.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Well, we've said it for years. The best ability is availability.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's had issues with that.
Yep. He's signed through 2025.
Okay. Mm. I'm trying to see what team. What team that can? Could you see? I can see Debo on a team like the Chargers.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing with trades, is you have to find a partner willing to give something up.
Right.
Okay. And what team is going to give up enough to get Debo back in return and still be competitive?
Yeah. True.
I mean, Debo is versatile, and he's been injury prone, but he missed 3-4 games last year.
Mm-hmm.
So, but when he's out there, it's like McCaffrey. McCaffrey was injury prone, and then he wasn't.
Right.
And I think if Samuel goes to a team where he's not used out of the backfield and doesn't take as many hits, I think he'll be better. So, I mean, I think it's dumb to even consider trading Samuel and just letting Ayuk walk. But again, the math just doesn't work out. And this is the thing about the NFL compared to the NBA. It's a hard cap.
Right.
And math ain't mathin'.
Nope. And San Francisco is looking at that going, Brock is going to want a contract here in a couple of years, probably next year.
Yeah.
Because we got him a bargain basement price. We ain't going to get away with it anytime soon.
Which in the draft, when the Niners took the wide receiver from Florida who has highlight
Pearsall?
Pearsall. You think that was the writing on the wall? Like, yeah, we know
Yeah,
one of them are leaving, so yeah,
that was like we need to get rid of one of these guys.
yeah. Well, speaking of Pearsall, like I heard he was good, but I had to look at his highlight reel.
Oh, he's
I'm
good.
like, oh, this motherfucker is
He's
cold.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
He's cold. I'm talking about.
he's good.
I'm like, damn, he's really good, really good. Like, so that was a good pickup by the Niners.
He just wasn't on a team that got to exploit him too much last year,
Yeah.
Right?
unfortunately.
Is he like 6'3"? Something
I don't
like
know if he's that big. Could be,
that.
but I'm not positive.
Let's find out.
6'1".
6'1"?
6'1", 190.
We lad.
Yeah, yeah. He looks tall on the field though.
He's got the hands though.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see. We'll see what San Francisco has. Again, they're probably going to let Ayuk walk because I think they think they have his replacement.
Mhm.
Yeah, and Debo's going to want a contract. Purdy's going to want his contract. Greenlaw's going to want his contract. I mean, it's a hard cap league. You got to figure it out.
So if you're George Kittle, right? Do you want to go to another team to have a bigger role instead of blocking, or
Do I want to go into a team that will actually A, pay me, and B, use me?
right?
Yes.
Because his chances of winning the championship is great in San Francisco, but he can go to any team, any other team, and like be a vocal point in the offense.
I could see him, especially if San Francisco wins the title this year. I could see him just going down south to San Diego.
Ooh,
Oh, I'm
that's
sorry,
a
not San
nasty
Diego anymore.
combination.
I'm sorry. Go south to Los Angeles. I brain fart. I'm old.
Yeah.
BJ, you're shaking your head over there.
Yeah, you keep saying you're old. We're the same age. That's how you feel. Get out of that fucking chair. Do some jumping jacks or something, for God's sakes. Jesus.
So can we transition to college football real quick? I want to
Sure.
touch on something. So all right. So this next season, the college football playoffs is going to be 8 teams, right? Or
12.
16? 12?
12.
12. Okay. All right. So did they come up with the format on how the games are going to be played? If it's
Yep.
since it's going to be 12 games?
Yep.
All right. So what bowl games are going to be? So I assume that all of the major bowl games are they going to be considered playoff games?
Yes, the bowl games that are considered playoff games now, or
Hmm.
the New Year's Six, those are going to be playoff games.
Okay.
The round before that are going to be at the home field of the higher seed.
Oh wow.
So like if the five, so the first 14 get buys, and then the 5 plays 12, 6 plays 11, stuff like that. Okay, so like the 5 seed's going to have a home game, and
Okay.
then the next game is going to be at the team that got a bye, and then the next games will be bowl games.
Okay. So for example, um, so let's say let's say the winners of the conferences get buys.
Yep, that's the way it is. It's the winners of the conferences, regardless of their rankings, they're the ones that get the buys.
That's interesting. Interesting. That's that's gonna be fun to see because I know this year is going to be so much controversy. Teams that should be in not going to get it. teams that what the fuck are going to get in. It's going to be crazy.
And see, and this has been my thing from the very beginning when they were doing the playoff system, when it was 4 spots for five conferences. Okay, it should have always been enough spots for the conferences to get everyone in, because then it's win your conference, and you're in. Right. And if you didn't win your conference and you did it again, well, tough shit, win your conference.
Right.
Right. I mean, this goes for Georgia, this goes for Alabama, goes for Michigan, goes for USC, goes for anyone. If you don't get in because you didn't win your conference, tough shit.
Right.
That's the automatic way in. Now you can still get in without winning your conference, but it's not guaranteed.
Right.
And you're right. This year's going to be interesting, not just because of the 12-team playoff. That's going to be fun to watch, but it's going to be watching the new conferences, because you've got Texas and Oklahoma going into the SEC this year. You've got USC, UCLA, Oregon, and Washington going into the Big Ten this year. And it's interesting watching these teams that had completely separate recruiting classes go into different styles of play.
Mm-hmm.
Because watching Oklahoma, who was built to just be spread and run all over the field, go against LSU, Florida, and Alabama in consecutive weeks.
Oh, shit.
Watching USC, who again was built for speed, go against Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan, and Iowa in consecutive weeks.
Dang, you're USC. You got to go to Michigan and play in Michigan? Oof.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Oh, man.
And ironically, Texas actually goes to Michigan this year. So.
Who's the starting quarterback for Michigan?
Don't know yet.
Mm.
So it's either going to be Alex Orji or Jaden Davis. Or Jaden Daniels. Davis. Daniels is the guy that from LSU.
Yeah. Okay. And for Texas, Quinn Ewers is still the quarterback.
Ewers is still
right?
there.
He's still starting.
As far as I know, Manning is still there, which tells me something about Manning. If he can't win the starting job.
Yeah. Because he could have transferred, but he decided not to.
Okay. I do have a correction. So the first round of the playoff games, those are at home stadiums. The second round with the teams that have the byes, they don't get home games. They go to the bowl games. So I want to correct that. So, and this year it's the Fiesta Peach Rose and Sugar.
Okay.
And then the semifinals are the Orange and Cotton Bowl, and then the championship is the championship game.
Okay. And the championship is in Texas, right?
Let me just double check. I think so. I think it's a Jerry's Bowl this year.
Yeah, Jerry's Bowl, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yep, like you said, like the Big Ten, the SEC is going to be it's more competitive, and also too, it's like every game is going to even though every game already counted, but it's just now like the stakes are high. Like if you lose the first game of the season, it could mean your season. Like it depends, right? Even though so let's say for instance, if you have an Oklahoma team that's going in the SEC, like SEC and Big Ten teams, if they lose at the beginning of the season, teams like that will probably can still end up, winning their conference and still, moving on and whatnot. But it's so competitive because it's like if you're a top tier team and you lose, like you're hoping that, hey, the team that beat you end up losing to like a top team instead of a lower tier team, right? Because if like for example, so let's say for instance, if you're Florida State, right? And you're Florida State, and let's say you lose to LSU, right? If LSU loses to like a Texas or Alabama or a top tier team, that looks good on you. You say, hey, we lost to a team that got beat by another big team, right? Compared to if Florida State loses to LSU and the LSU loses to fucking Vanderbilt, it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? So, so it's so many factors that comes into play once you like lose like your first game, or you lose a game within the first 5 games. Then you're like, oh shit. Now, like, we have to hope to God each game that we win each game, and then like the team that beat us, you know, either they win out, make us look good, or they get beat by another team that went out. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's like weird how that works.
Here's a for instance for you. So last year when Texas played Oklahoma,
Mhm.
Oklahoma won in the last minute, and it was like, okay, well, Oklahoma now just has clear sailing to the playoff. Texas, they can get in if Oklahoma stumbles, which they did. Okay, fine, that happens. So this year, when Texas plays Oklahoma, they play in the Cotton Bowl. So after that game, here's Oklahoma's schedule: South Carolina, Mississippi, Maine, who cares? At Missouri, Alabama, at LSU. Your ass better be winning the Red River Shootout.
Yeah, you have to. You have to.
There's no cupcakes anymore.
Right. Which that main shit is bullshit. It's like, really?
It's the SEC way.
Why y'all jumping all over that state? They give us our lobsters and whatnot. Not that I eat those fucking sea scorpions, but whatever.
Oh, and I forgot. Before they play Texas, they play Tennessee, and then they go to Auburn.
Damn, bro. Oh, shit.
The days of filling up with cupcakes and lollipops, those days are over.
Yeah, these are over. Wow.
So, and that's what I mean by it. This year is going to be interesting.
I think you're going to start seeing more 2 and 3 lost teams in the Final Four.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean,
because they're going to get tested. They're going to go through things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you're definitely going to see a 2-loss team in the playoffs. I think just the way the math is going to work out. You'll probably see a 3-loss team. The way these things are shaping up.
Yeah. I can see that.
I can't wait till the team that they all bitch about not supposed to be in there wins it. That's what I love. I can't wait. You know it's coming.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be a team like a Missouri or a South Carolina that just gets hot at the end. He had stumbled at the beginning of the season and then gets hot, beats a couple teams, gets in at 11. And
see, even your subconscious animal brain knows the SEC's better. You see what you did there? It's going to be like a team like Missouri or South Carolina. You didn't even say Iowa or Purdue because that's not likely.
I will say this, that James Franklin's going to keep his job, and I could not be happier. Because James Franklin's going to get Penn State into the playoffs every single year. As a Michigan fan, that makes me happy.
So right now, even though it's early, like, is there a team that you think that you're gonna believe that's gonna win, or you see that you can see winning?
I mean, it's the usual suspects. It's Ohio State, it's Georgia, it's Alabama.
Did it again?
2 out of the 3.
Well, you did say Ohio State.
What's 66%? UCF starts the Big 12 this year, right?
They were in the Big 12 last year. See, he does a sports podcast and doesn't even pay attention.
Dude, man, I'm sorry. But because I saw something that I think Colorado comes here to play UCF.
I think so. Hold on.
That might be worth a trip.
Yeah.
Go see some daddy ball.
Yep. September 28th.
We're not getting tickets for that unless Adam gets them for us.
We're gonna pay out the ass.
Hey, I want tickets on the ground. I'm not sitting in that rickety ass bleachers they got going on there. Fucking, now we know where all the recycled Coke cans for the last 30 years from Central Florida went. The fucking stadium.
Let's see.
Oh, doom, doom,
That thing
oh.
flexes like stripper titties. I don't want any part of it.
I hear clang, 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 oh,
The
clang,
first,
clang, oh.
it flexes like a 70-year-old stadium. Like the first, I saw the first game on that they had on ESPN, and they're jumping up and down. I'm like, that shouldn't be like that. I don't like that. I don't like that.
So BJ, you have your choice. Okay, so I can get you 45-yard line. Okay, on the sidelines. So the visitor sideline, which is in the shade, is 282 per ticket. The home sideline in the sun is 312.
Dang.
282. Let's go. What are we talking? What are we talking about here? And whoever sets those prices is fucking stupid. Because no
Yeah.
matter whether it's a home game or not, if I was a UFC student, I'd pay the extra $40 and sit in the shade, right over there, those Colorado fans.
Shit, I've been there for new kickoffs, man. You bake like a Thanksgiving turkey.
We're all drunk, same colors, nobody knows. There's no way. What time's the kickoff?
It hasn't been announced yet.
Yeah.
My
Shade.
guess is probably 3:30.
Hottest part of the day.
Yeah, no, thank
Hottest
you.
part of the day. Nope. Nope.
I wish it was a night game.
You need to get us some media credentials, Adam. We've been doing this for 3 years. Lie about something.
Yeah.
I got a podcast. Press.
Press pass. I need 3 of them. I got 2 special friends. They need some assistance. I get a tax write-off for employing them.
Yeah. I saw something that I think Florida and Georgia may be playing in Orlando.
No. I don't want that.
Okay, so what you saw was while the stadium in Jacksonville is being redone, so for those 2 years that it's being redone, they're looking for a place to play. Now, they should just play on campus.
Tallahassee.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that'd be fun. But they should just play on campus in Athens and Gainesville. But in lieu of that, they're like, well, where can we go that's a quote unquote neutral field for 2 years?
Because if they play at Mercedes Stadium, that's a home game for Georgia.
Yeah.
Can't do that. Yeah,
I would love for them to play at Doak Campbell. That'd be fun.
Yeah. I was gonna say they should just like BJ said, they just hey, these 2 years, we'll come down to Florida. In the last year of it, you come to Athens. Like any normal college football team.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing about college football is the big rivalries should be on campus if possible. Like Michigan, Ohio State, that's on campus. LSU, Alabama, those are on campus. Florida State.
We're talking about tradition here. This is the world's largest cocktail party you're talking about.
Well, what's more important, the tradition of going to a neutral site or the tradition of having the game on campus?
Going through a tradition of a neutral site. It's one of the few games played on a neutral site. Makes it unique in an NFL stadium.
So there was actually quality football being played on that field that week.
Yes, that week alone.
See what we did there?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Did he?
Yeah. But other than that, I don't see. Yeah, because technically Orlando is a home game for the game.
That's too far south.
Yeah.
No, I'm cool with it being played. Well, why don't they go to Valdosta or something? That's probably close to equidistant. Is there a stadium there? Is there a college team there?
Valdosta State, maybe.
Oh yeah, but that's gonna be like 10,000 people.
Yeah, it'd be like H.O. Dabney Stadium.
They'll be hanging from the trees trying to see that game.
Well, what about that stadium in? Well, no, that's far from both of them. I'm saying the one in.
I mean,
Mobile, Alabama.
No, it's not.
Is that big enough?
No, realistically, if they wanted to move it, where they should move it to is Charlotte.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's a neutral site stadium.
South Carolina doesn't deserve that. North Carolina doesn't deserve that. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So, and since we're talking about
They only
scheduling,
split that state up to see who could be the more racist.
yeah, well, I still love the story about like why some of the states are split, just because hey, we need to keep the number even because we have to keep the racists happy. Um, so we're talking about schedules for next college football season. So listen to this schedule. This is a Power Five team, and if they win their conference, they are automatically in the playoffs with a bye. Okay, Ohio at home, Georgia Tech at home, Stanford at home, Holy Cross at home, at UNLV, at NC State, at Pittsburgh, Virginia Tech, at Boston College, at California, UConn, and Miami.
That Florida State?
No,
Clemson.
no.
Oh shit. Syracuse.
Fucking Miami up this year. Why?
We'll see.
Hey, in all seriousness, that game could decide who plays in the ACC championship. As dumb as that sounds.
Yeah, we brought that SEC recruiting up north. Incoming.
Last year, the ACC, you got Syracuse won the conference. Like, fuck, we can't have this.
Oh, man, that's interesting. So about the ACC, right? So did they add any teams to
No.
the ACC?
Nope. Well, I'm sorry, they added California. California, Stanford,
Logical choice.
because they are located on the Atlantic coast.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
This is Wi-Fi college football.
Wi-Fi college football. They have to play Madden to go see. Wow. California, no other team. Okay.
Well, because they didn't have a conference. The Pac-12 just disintegrated.
Right. So Syracuse got to fly. Oh, so Syracuse plays Stanford in Syracuse or in California?
Let me pull it back up.
Yes, because
They have nope. Stanford flies all the way over here.
Oh damn.
To play in Syracuse in the dome, and then Syracuse flies all the way to Berkeley to play Cal.
I just hope they don't smoke a bunch of pot over there.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to football season this year. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, me too. It's gonna be fun.
So, and I'm gonna close on a fun topic. The Lakers still don't have a coach.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, did JJ actually sign with them?
No, LeBron James. Coach, GM, and Hitman, all in the same role.
All in the same role.
Who's gonna take that job? Who wants to take that job?
Call it paging Mike Brown.
Yeah. Oh, he's coaching now for Sacramento.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not going. He's not leaving.
I mean, he's getting people that think Dorian's coaching the Kings.
Dude, it's fucking ridiculous. I'm at the airport in Atlanta. People are like, I'm like, so a guy came in. He was like, "Hey," I said, "Yes, Mike Brown." You are Mike Brown? I said, "No." People say I look like him all the time. Every single time, everywhere I go.
You should be like, yeah, $40 an autograph.
So if they do a biopic of LeBron James and they need a Mike Brown, I'm your guy.
You gonna be embarrassed like that?
Depends how much they paying me. Hey, I'll play a coach
Damn.
that's being top
Full
down too.
on, full on whore.
Yes.
Depends on how much they're
Fuck
paying me.
you.
Holy shit.
That
Are
that
you, are you gonna walk into the producer's office forwards, or are you gonna back in?
reminds me of the joke, and a guy walks up to a girl and says, like, "Will you have sex with me for $1,000,000?" Yeah. What about for 10? No. What am I, a whore? Well, we've established that. I just want to know what your price is.
Damn.
So,
Full on whore.
so you telling me you wouldn't play a coach for a certain amount of money? That's all I'm
No,
doing.
no,
Just
no, no,
playing a
no,
coach.
no, no, no. You said you were okay being degraded for some money.
I didn't say that. I said
Yeah, yeah, you did.
I would play
You
Mike
did.
Brown.
Yeah, yeah.
I would
No,
play
but
Mike Brown in
I
me.
said, are you sure you want to be embarrassed like that? And you're like, it depends on how much they're paying me. Whore.
It's not like I'm getting fisted and shit. It just matter. It's just LeBron James. Like,
Whoa. Whoa.
I'm saying that's how you making it
We
seem,
went
bro.
we went
Like
from
I'm
mental
getting fisted or something.
we
like.
went from mental abuse to you being a meat puppet? What the fuck is going on? What are you, an altar boy? Jesus Christ. God damn, this
I'm
shit's
just saying, bro.
uncomfortable.
It ain't that bad. All I'm doing is playing Mike Brown. The worst
I
thing that
mean,
happened
What's
is
the
LeBron being
level
like,
of
"Hey,
this?
I ain't
You're
doing what
being
you're saying."
I know. He went from like mental abuse to like possible hemorrhoids. Jesus. And you'd be mentally fisted. Your image would be fisted. I don't even know what to say.
Dude, what's the worst that can happen? All they gonna say is
Fisting, apparently.
the worst thing LeBron James did to Mike Brown was tell him to recall a play or some shit. You know what I mean?
Professionally neutered him.
I mean,
Whew. This got awkward.
that turned quick.
oh no, like we were not used to it. It's around that time where we usually,
Would you have like a timer, like a 10-4? You're talking about double fisting? What the hell?
No,
Just you really want to do something to your search history. Just Google punch fisting.
no, I'm good.
Well, okay.
Do it. Quit being a bitch.
So I will defend Dorian because he did start the podcast off talking about Michael Big Penix Energy being in Jacksonville.
He didn't say Big Pendix. You're the actual first dick joke of the show.
That is true. That is true.
So
Hey, you just dance around the dicks. I mean, just.
Well, they seem to be pouring out of your mouth right now. Don't do this, Adam. I will drag you into deep water and watch you drown.
No more homicides.
Yeah, I will look you. I will look you in the eyes while you breathe water.
Oh, God. Sandlot Sports.
Why does this podcast get so gay all of a sudden?
Well, okay, I was talking about the LA Lakers coaching job. Okay, and you were talking about
that's borderline.
That's borderline. You were talking about Mike Brown and what LeBron James has done to him, like mentally.
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 And then Fisty McGee down here. Old meat puppet Jackson. Father O'Knuckles.
Altar boy. You just something wrong with you, man.
No, something's wrong with the Catholics, not me.
Oh my God. Oh man, I'm crying.
I'm not defending some dude for doing something terrible because he christened me or baptized me 30 years ago. Yeah, no, that's nothing's wrong with me.
Yeah, it's weird whenever I hear stories of like this happened 10 years ago to this little girl or this little boy. It's always like some pastor, some youth pastor, some
crazy man.
Republican conservative.
Yeah.
Christian conservative.
Yeah. Exactly.
There's a trend with this.
Yeah. We're gonna upset our Catholic
When are
listeners.
we going to
We are
start treating female teachers that molest boys like the molesters they are, and not treat the boys like pussies for telling their mom?
right.
That's a damn good question.
Well,
Yeah.
it is a good question, but the funny thing is, the first thing in my head is to call them a pussy for telling their mom. Not gonna lie to you. Not gonna lie to you. So I am part of the problem.
The first step is acceptance.
Yeah, but that's a long way from the second step. I just don't see me not calling them pussies for telling their mom.
My thing is like in the teacher's mind, like how did she get to that point? Like
Adam thought we were going to like the politically correct, like
Nope.
serious discussion, and I was like,
Nope.
right hook.
Nope. I know better.
Yeah, because it was one story I read where the one teacher, I think she's out of Texas, and like I guess she had the kid come and change in her room, and she like started going down on him, and then he's for the parents said that like he didn't know what to feel. I'm like, shit, man, look.
Dorian's part of the problem too. So
No, I'm just saying like, let me shut up because
Let me ask you
I'll
this.
just say this.
Does it cause as much mental damage to a teenage boy as it does to a teenage girl? That's the question. Because the teenage boy is going to be treated more like a hero, where the teenage girl is going to be treated more like trash.
and I will say this, that as a teenage boy myself, you probably thought of it. You probably thought
Probably. I call her name out.
No.
I'll call her name. You can Google her. You
Yeah,
can,
they do.
because all of us know who it is.
Oh, I know who you're talking
I'm
about.
pretty sure.
Yeah, we don't need to. And she was the only one. The rest of them have been past their prime since I was in middle school.
Yeah, we're talking about the daughter.
The daughter, yes. Mom in her day, though.
Yeah.
She could get papped up. Pap.
Yeah. So, but yes, we all thought of it, and I think that's why it's different, because from a teenage boy's perspective, it's like, well, I'm getting what I wanted.
Yes.
Right.
But
It's still illegal and still wrong.
no. There's a girl who went to school that got what she wanted. How'd that go?
There's probably multiple girls.
One we know.
No. There were.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There were.
Oh yeah.
I know for a fact there were.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe it when I was told that. This person you would never expect.
Skibbity pat.
Yeah, we're not talking about Mr. Nicotine Patches.
Nah.
No, ain't nobody getting close to that. It was hard. It was hard to walk in his classroom. God dang, man.
Oh yeah.
Motherfucker smelled like Marlboros down the hall.
Yeah. He did.
You know what? I think he smoked so much to cover up the pot.
Probably.
I used to do that at Black and Milds, so I could walk in places high, smoke a shit ton of pot, and then smoke a Black and Mild on my way in, because you ain't smelling nothing over a Black and Mild. I could burn a human next to you and light up a Black and Mild, and you wouldn't smell shit.
But yeah, man. And the thing is, like,
we're going down a road that we can't elaborate on.
No.
Right. We can't. Yeah.
We cannot. These people still exist.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
But I'm gonna want you to elaborate.
I mean, I'm not elaborating
Once they press
here.
the stop button.
Right. But I'll say this.
Sure, that's what our audience wants.
But I'll say this. It was like hidden in plain sight. Because when it was exposed to me, I said, I can totally see it now. And BJ, you're as close as it to this situation as well.
God damn.
Yeah.
That makes me think it's a certain after school group we were all involved in.
Yep.
God damn it. Ugh.
Yep. I'm pretty sure if your mind keeps going, you're gonna hit nail in the coffin. But yep, it was. I didn't believe it when I was heard. I'm like, nah. They said no, it's confirmed. It went down the list.
Confirmed.
Well, see, and that's the thing. So back in the day,
Does
not
it have
everyone
something to
had
do-
a video camera.
Yeah,
Right.
that's awesome. Does it have something to do with the picture I saw on your Facebook earlier this week?
Yes.
God damn
yes.
It. God damn it.
Yes. Don't say nothing else. Everything else is off.
You better put that picture to private before people start stalking us.
Ah.
Best do it now.
I knew it. Now I got to figure out who. Cracker or not a cracker? Nope.
Not gonna do it. Wouldn't be prudent.
When does that apply to anything we put on this podcast?
That's fair.
I mean, the only reason I don't want to mention any names is because I would hate for it to come back to somebody 25 years later. Like, that's a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
Not the adult, the child that was involved.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, fuck the adult, but the child that was involved, I would hate for that to come back to them, I mean, it's highly unlikely, but for anybody we know to be able to connect the dots again, like, that would be terrible.
Right.
That would be terrible. So that's the only reason. Fuck the adult. That'd be great. That'd be hilarious to watch that unfold.
Yeah. So while we have a couple minutes, try to completely guess out of the ditch. Did y'all see what happened? I think it was over the weekend with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was a flagrant. I think Angel Reese paid for what the rest of the league has done to him.
You know, and my thought was it was a hard foul. It wasn't dirty. It definitely was not dirty.
No.
Hit her in the head, which by the rule is a flagrant. So I can see why it was called a flagrant, and it ends there. And yeah, I think you're right. I think Angel Reese paid the price for the rest of the league, and y'all need to fucking stop this. That game was the highest rated WNBA game in 20 something years. Knock it off.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, did you hear about Ice Cube offering Caitlin Clark $5 million to play in Big Three?
Yeah. She should take it.
Absolutely.
Buddy, if she's having problems with contact like that, and she wants to go up against people that weigh 60 pounds more than her, and are naturally more muscular, no, she should not. If that little Angel Reese foul put her on the ground, what's going to happen if she bumps into some 6'8", 240 guy that's jumping at the same time?
So you think it was a publicity stunt?
What's that?
You think it was just a stunt by Ice Cube?
What do they say? Like, no publicity is bad publicity?
Something like that.
Something like that? I'll take something like that.
So, how's your Dodgers pick going?
Why you got to bring that up? They're down by 5 in the bottom of the 8th.
Hey, they can still come back. It's baseball. Shit happens.
It is baseball.
Dude.
And I mean, the Colorado's literally the worst team in the division.
Yeah.
They're behind the Dodgers by 20 games.
About to be 19. So, hell, I found out today that Steve Bartman's 48 years old.
Why? You are obsessed with dating yourself. He constantly does this on Facebook. He dates himself. He reminds himself how old he is. It's like he's rushing to 60. He's been 60 since 1997. He's really just trying to get there as fast as possible.
Oh, shit.
I don't understand it.
So, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Sandlot Sports.